And my old buddy Bearcat asked me to stop by this year and help break down the old Bearcat fantasy football rankings. Now, old Bearcat told me there's several members out there in his league who are recently married or divorced or can't seem to keep a woman around anymore. So not only this year am I going to break down the rankings, I'm also going to give you guys just a little bit of professional advice to help keep those legged friends in your life happy all year round. Well, the fall's upon us, and while most of us are excited for the start of another fantasy football season, up at the Dickens orchards, we've had a pretty good harvest this year, and we just got done with our last batch of our apple cider. So let's get these rankings rolling so I can get back to work and get all that cider shipped out as soon as possible. I know you think these rankings are going to start with Bearcat at the top like they always do. Well, this year we're going to change it up just a little bit. That's right. We're going to go ahead and do the rankings as far as the countdown, so we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up to the top. Our 14th and last place team this year, well, it's our friend from West Virginia, In It to Win It. I really don't know which is worse, that you really have Andy Dalton as your starting quarterback, or the fact that's the strongest position on your team. Well, we appreciate your donation, so let's help you out with a little advice for the lady friend in your life. On Monday morning, when you're crying about the beatdown you just took in fantasy, put a little extra sugar in that drink. Because we all know there's nothing she likes better than my sweet Dickens cider. Number 13. Well, what do you know? He isn't last this year. It's good old Sexual Massacre. When they draft wide receivers in the first round, this is what happens. So let's see here. What did you do? You took the Seattle defense with your second pick, it looks like? Hell, that's the only other starter I see on your whole squad. Well, it ain't all bad, so let me help you out here on the home front a little bit. Try adding a little half and half into your girl's cup of cider in the morning, because we all know she loves my creamy Dickens cider. Up on to number 12, my main man, Rungy's Rollers. He's stuck there in the back again. Well, let's find out what went wrong this year. Well, at least you got away from drafting that Frank Gore and Phillip Rivers like you do every other year. I thought that might have really helped you out this year until I realized half the guys you drafted, they got the pink slip back on roster countdown day. But damn it, Rungy, I like you, and we're here to help. Well, we all know you can only get that imitation cider down there at the Piggly Wiggly in the sticks where you live. I'm offering you free shipping this season only, because I know ever since you and your girl got together, she's been begging for a real Dickens cider. On to number 11, it's the West Virginia Warriors. Well, I remember this team used to be able to compete for championships. Maybe you should have brought Baldy with you. Seems like you need him around to be able to compete in anything from what I hear. You got Russell Wilson, David Wilson. Hell, you might as well drafted old Carney Wilson with all the split tails you have on this team. But since you are family, I'm here to help you out. I don't know what they taught you there at that business class in Capitol, but here at Dickens Farms, we see a problem with your marketing strategy. You have to quit trying to package your products in those little containers. Our surveys show that your clientele is not happy with your little Dickens cider, you know? On to number 10. We'd like to welcome this team back to the league. Boy, it's been a few years, but it's nice to have old Lucky Ground Chucky back in the mix. It looks like he's going to give it the roll of the dice again and give it the old college boy try. I like that you drafted a Manning, the one that knows how to win the playoff games. But the problem is old Eli can't help you much when you're watching the playoffs from the outside. Let's see here. You have Marquise, Hakeem, and Muhammad. What'd you do, draft your team outside the Obama voter registration stand? I tell you, but I'm still here to help you out. So the next time that wife of yours is in the kitchen baking, I suggest you tell her to replace that water with just a little bit of our cider. Cause there's nothing that makes that cream pie as moist as my Dickens cider. Up on to number 9, the old Tickle Monsters. You'd probably win this thing with old Desi and AJ if we were in a 12-point per reception league. I do love the fact, though, you picked up TP, because you're going to need that whenever this squad just turns to total shit. But hey, at least you got a Terminator out of it all, so it ain't bad. Now let's see how your old buddy Philmore here can help you out. Next time you're out with one of them little girly friends you have there in western Pennsylvania, put a little shot of Everclear in that drink, because there's nothing those women love more than my stiff Dickens cider. That moves us on up to the top 8 playoff contenders. Woo! Now let's look here and see who's got a chance of making a run this year. And at number 8, it's our buddy the Squeaks Assassins. I like what you're doing. I see you drafted that Tony Romo. You must be planning on adding some ribs over there to the menu, as the chances are. But the bad thing is, he doesn't know how to win a playoff game, so you're not going to last around too long once December gets started. And most people who start 2 players from the same team use it to try to double up on the points. They just don't do it with both receivers like old Cobby and Jones. Hell, it won't work at all when they're both on the bench halfway through the season. But you've had a lot on your mind this summer with the wedding coming up and all. So here's a little tip for a happy marriage. Put a little oatmeal in that wifey of yours' morning thermos before she goes to work. Because I've learned there's nothing that gets her going in the morning like my thick Dickens cider. On up to number 7. It's the tag team duo of Bubba's Bullies. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt this year because somehow you've managed to cash out the last 2 seasons. But you do realize you only have 3 running backs, and 2 of them are Vic Ballard and Bow Powell. I don't know how in the hell you got ranked this high. At least you drafted a lot of players who played their college football down in the South. Now that's important because down there, they know how to win the big games, and they're used to playing tough competition, not like you see here in this college athletics in the Midwest. But with that, you went ahead and drafted that Peyton Manning too, and everybody knows you can't win a playoff game with Peyton Manning at the helm. Wow, I mean, now the 2 of you's here, so you're going to need a lot of help keeping those ladies happy this year come the playoff time. They've been used to that little extra cash coming in there around December 25th. So this year, I'm going to send each of you a full jug of cider, because with no money for the extra presents, this Christmas, those ladies won't be happy without my huge Dickens cider. That moves us on up to number 6. Old Bump and Run. Doesn't take long to figure out, you look at this team, who the brains of the operation on his duo was last year. I mean, but you got to appreciate a guy who drafts the best quarterback in the defense in NFL history. But old Touchdown Tommy and the Steel Curtain's only going to get you so far. I haven't seen a set of wide receivers this bad since old Russ Hall was playing flanker out there in Wheeling for the Thunder and Chickens. So here's a little advice for you with all your little girly friends up there at work in the Highlands. Go over to the Kohl's and get you one of them Keurig machines everybody's buying nowadays. And I'm going to send you down some K-Cups because all those women's go nuts over my warm Dickens cider. Let's go on up to number 5. Number 5, here we are, the Juggernauts. Sooner or later, you think these boys would learn. Well, the 3rd time isn't the charm for this in these boys. You don't take that Drew Brees in the 1st round of the Bearcat Football League. I repeat, you do not take Drew Brees. You guys are just lucky these clowns are so bad you may actually win a couple games and make your way into the playoffs. But since y'all like drafted from the beach and blowing off the live portion of this draft this year, you're probably wondering why you guys are out there tanning and doing this and that and the saying your ladies are out there at the souvenir shop buying up all them shot glasses. Well, that's because no matter where you may roam on vacation, there's nothing that them ladies want more than a little shot of my Dickens cider. Well, 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 number 4. It's good old Billy Chips. I see you're learning. You went out there and you drafted you a couple superstars this year in Ben Roethlisberger and downtown Antonio Brown. But that won't make up for all those gimps you got there at the running back position. I usually don't do this, but I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to go out to the Special Orchard. We haven't been there in years. We like to call it Romelette Row. We use only the finest polished apples out there. And these batches, they can only be shipped in aluminum, which that'll come in handy since we heard them girls down there in southern Ohio, they love my Dickens cider can. Well, I must say, it's been a pretty bad draft so far. But these top 3 teams are probably about as close a competition as I've ever seen for the title in the history of the Bearcat Fantasy Football League. These guys must really know their stuff. The 3rd place team this year is the one-man Wolfpack. I mean, he must have really done his homework this year. He's got a solid team all the way around. He could be a real contender with a draft like this. It does finally appear that he truly may be related to the greatest drafter of all time, my old buddy Bearcat. But even though your fantasy team's looking pretty good, you can always use some advice in some other areas out there. So while you're on your lunch break out there on that pipeline working them 14-hour days, and that old lady of yours is packing our newest release in your lunchbox, it's just cause she wants to send you that friendly reminder to help you get through the day how much she loves my new Dickens Cider Juicy Box. Let's go on to number 2. Old Pablo Scone. This guy, he's always the contender, but this year he took the draft to a whole nother level. Never has there been a team so close to the mastery of the Bearcat till this year. But with guys like old Fitzy and Shady and that Revis on his defensive squad, this team just got too many big losers to really be able to knock that top dog off his perch. But we know it ain't been easy for him lately either, and we know now you're out there back on the prowl. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to send you my brand new chocolate sensation cider mix. That way you never have to worry about all them new ladies of yours out there running around while you're at work when she's craving that black Dickens cider. And now for the highly anticipated release of this year's #1 fantasy squad. None other than the Philmore Dickens disciples. This guy's talented from top. This guy is stacked from top to bottom, if you know what I mean. And as far as the football side of it, Le'Veon Bell's the only thing that's going to keep this league competitive for the first half of the season. But once those playoffs start, it appears like it should be once again pure domination. It's easy to see why he's an 8-time champion in this league. So we asked the superstar, what's the secret to being such a legend? I mean, he dominates the fantasy drafts, he's always there to help out his fellow participants, and he always has a smile on his face. He said it's simple. My wife won't let me go a single day without a Dickens cider. Well, I mean, even though the Dickens cider is loved by the women everywhere, it's great for us fellas too. I know, once I have my Dickens cider, I feel better almost immediately. Well, boys, that wraps up this year's rankings. Enjoy the season, keep hydrated, and this fall look for our newest product to hit the shelf. Our Dickens Cider Energy Shot. Because in this day and age, when a girl is concerned about what she's putting in their body, well, sure just loves swallowing down a big Dickens cider. It's all natural, and every Dickens cider will give her a big old load of protein. Our recent surveys show that all your ladies out there, there's nothing they find quite as refreshing as when they put my Dickens cider in their mouth. We want to thank you again, and we'll see y'all next year. Have a good one.